So I'm back again, and I'm going to tell you all I'm a very lucky woman. When you last visited, we attached all of this new hardware and turn it on. No leaks, no drips, all the way around where I thought my toilet was leaking here. The drip was actually coming from this connection right here. Was loose, had a leak, maybe too much pressure, I don't know, but it was sending that drip right here to the corner. But you know, from here and here, this was my problem, which just about caused me to rot my wall out and start black mold to form with all of the moisture. So you know, I knew I was going to have to tear that portion of my wall out anyway. And now I have the confidence of knowing that, you know, what's behind here, this copper piping, it's not damaged, it's not dripping, leaking, weeping, or anything. So I'm very thankful about that. I didn't have to replace my toilet, and you know, so I'm gonna get you know, $120 or you know how much back for that. So that's great. All I had to replace was both of these fittings, and this house is probably about 13 years old. So I mean, it's not that old, but you know, these things start to deteriorate and break down over time. So still, I'm hopeful that you'll through watching this video, you'll have the incentive to, you know, tackle this project yourself and realize that, you know, it can be done. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to call a professional. I think I probably you know, spent 20 bucks, 30 bucks on, you know, just this. But I wanted to show you how I'm gonna repair the wall. I've went ahead and I've cut the pieces of sheetrock out to shape. As you can see, they're not perfect, but you know, that's what, you know, the tape and the putty's for, to cover up and repair all of that. So I'm just gonna show you. You know, I've never done this before. I've seen mud work done, but you know, it's not that complicated, and I'm sure that we can tackle through this. It's just kind of a mud mixture here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna it says to take this tape and crisscross it over the seams, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm probably want to fill these gaps for one. You know, fill those with the putty. Now I did nail these to the studs. I showed you earlier that I had to go ahead and cut that out a little bit wider so I could get these to, you know, attach to the studs, because I definitely want to have a solid wall when I'm finished. And you know, of course, this part right here, I'm gonna cover back up with a baseboard, so you're not even gonna see it really, but I'll know that it's there. And you know, thing about it is I want to make sure that all of the moisture is gone, so we don't have mold set up, because mold grows. And you know, in places like bathrooms and kitchens where there's a lot of water and moisture, you definitely don't want to invite that into your space. So you know, this is not what you know, prime wall area, but you know, still I want to get a good coat, and I want to fill those gaps in if I can. And so I'm gonna go ahead and have my gloves on here, and I recommend that you get a pair, because you know, these putty and clays and things will dry your skin out. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put a good coating of mud, they call it, on my tape, and I'm gonna go ahead and seam this area off with my tape. and that's going to connect these two joints here. I want to push out all the excess that I can, and I guess that's what this spatula is for. Make a nice smooth transition here. Push all the excess out to the side, and then you can just wipe that off. Like I said, I'm not too concerned in this area because I know I'm going to cover it up with a baseboard, but still, I want to get it sealed as much as I possibly can. And the sheetrock underneath, I did have to break off more because it was, you know, some of it was still crumbly. Just get to the point to where you know that it's clean, because you don't want to have those spores hanging around. I've lived in renter houses with black mold, and it's just something you cannot get rid of, and it's not something that I want to keep in my home or invite into my home. So there again, I've got these little gaps here. I'm going to try to fill them best I can. You know, of course, I've got little nails right here. A few nails. And, you know, you're going to sand this down. And you may have to go over it a couple of times with the putty. Sand, putty, sand, putty. So, I've got my first layer of tape on here. And, I went ahead and cut these so we wouldn't sit here watching me with a pair of scissors while you're trying to get your job done. But here again, you know, we'll go a little bit over the edge, and then I'll take the other one and go a little bit over the edge, but I want to have a nice seam there. And there's no glue on this tape. I was surprised they call it, you know, tape. It's just like paper. But, you know, I started buying masking tape. I guess I'm glad I didn't, but, you know, you live and learn. Thank God for YouTube, right? I mean, it was a YouTube that I learned that I needed to cut into my wall, because I had no idea that, you know, these copper pipes, you know, behind your wall, that's probably, I would have called a plumber. I don't know if I would have been able to tackle, you know, solder, flux and all that. I mean, I know what it is, but I'm not real sure how to use it. So that's nice. That turned out pretty nice right there. So I don't know. Hopefully, you know, too many people don't look at your walls behind the toilets, but I know it's there, and you'll know it's there. And maybe that's how you're supposed to do it. I don't know. Looks right to me. Anyway, when I get done here, you know, I'll be able to take my paint and paint back over the wall, and, you know, hopefully nobody will ever know what happened. I know one thing, with the smell that I had in my house, I definitely, I mean, even already getting that baseboard out made 100% difference. So, you know, if you're smelling a foul odor coming from your restroom, I have a septic tank, but, you know, whatever, you know, something's not right. You need to get in there and investigate it, especially if it's your home. If it's not your home, call your landlord and tell them, because it's very important, very important. Like I said, it only took, you know, probably about a month or so of this going on. I don't know, it could have been going on longer, but, you know, it's not been that long that it's turned into this situation. And If I would have waited much longer, I would have been in a lot of trouble. So, good luck, everybody, and thanks for watching. If I have more of my single woman survivor stories to share with you, you know, like this video, and maybe there'll be more to come. I've got a lawnmower that needs some work, so hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot.